Very disappointing game. One of the few times this year that I just felt we didn't compete at the level that we can compete at. And we continue to talk about the end result is not as important as the product that you put out and the progression that you make. And for the most part, the team didn't get better tonight. I think probably confidence a little bit fragile, and a press that wasn't real aggressive, and early turnovers got us really on our heels and tentative, and confidence shaken even more, and lacked that competitive edge, competitive drive to compete against it, and it was tough to get it back. Felt like started the second half with the good energy and effort and desire to do that, but couldn't maintain it between foul trouble and personnel rotations and shifts. Again, once we make a run, 4 turnovers in a row, that erases that run that cut it to single digits, and bouncing back that way back and forth is just too hard against a team that can push it up. Shot it well. They spread us out, drove us, and our help side defense wasn't where it needed to be for the majority of the game. So I was really disappointed in the effort, and hopefully we can have a weekend where they feel the importance of coming back with the energy and effort that we need to on next week for a tough road swing at Idaho and Eastern.
Bree, what was the toughest part about going against them tonight?
Probably the toughest part was just gaining back our momentum after we got so deep and we got in a hole, and probably bringing back up our confidence. I think at halftime in the locker room when Coach got into us, I think we came out with more intensity, but they still had their momentum, which made it harder for us to come back and get out of that hole.
Bree, how did you play with 4 fouls in the third quarter and not pick up that fifth through the rest of the game?
Well, Coach switched me on to basically a non-factor player who just didn't do much that game, so that was easier for me to not foul, and so.
The 11 turnovers in the first quarter couldn't have helped. How did that affect the momentum the rest of the way, though? The shaky confidence. You had your moments. The little surge at the start of the third made it at least interesting. But did the fact they had the pressure that was solid from the start, did that shake the confidence a little more, you think?
In my mind, I definitely, looking at the girls, there was a lot more hesitancy in the passes and the next play that they were making. The other thing that it did throughout the game is, once the confidence was shaken and even though we would battle back or get into a little groove of getting a couple of points here or there, the energy that it was taking and the time it was taking to break the press then got us out of the normal rhythm offensively. So typically we like to push and run, and when we can do that, better rhythm. Obviously, we missed in the third and fourth quarter. We missed a lot of layups that we had, or close ones at the basket. All the energy you expend trying to come back to it, as well as past experience with the turnovers. I think it all factors into the level of confidence you play with and the aggressiveness that you play with, and we never could bounce back, just making silly mistakes. Not only the turnovers, but the defensive reads and matchups that we would get back into, and again, not have the same level of focus that you have when you're in a rhythm.
You out-rebounded them, and then they launched 13 more shots.
Yeah, that's what 29 turnovers will do. You give, and sadly, that's one of our keys to the game. One of the things we focus on is we want to be able to get more shot attempts up than the opponent. And 5 to 10 a game would be ideal if we're in that range. We know we're playing our style of game, and tonight just that stat alone shows that we didn't get to play our style. And I think your point to starting the game with 11 turnovers in the first quarter really shakes confidence and makes it hard. And I hate to even say, because I believe we're at a point in the season now and have played enough games that it shouldn't be a factor. But if you look at, Dari having turnovers, freshman who hasn't seen or felt, we haven't been pressed like that yet this year. So she's up in a position to have to make a reversal, and she's just a little bit off balance, a little bit tentative with her pass. When Bree got back in the game and was able to make her strong, sharp passes, we broke it pretty much easily in the second half. Jamie was just about 10 feet high on every pass, the adrenaline or I don't know what it was, but she had 7 in the first half, and you just can't really recover from that when you have a few of your players who either haven't experienced it or you're counting on to make the plays to help you break it, have that many mistakes.
Bree, what's the mood in the room among your teammates right now?
Probably. Honestly, I feel like our confidence right now is not the best. I mean, losing streak has been hard because we've worked so hard in practice, and then we come out and sometimes it shows, sometimes we don't play like we know how to play, and that's frustrating. So I think we're all very frustrated with the way we played tonight, and the only thing we can do is get back to work on Monday and play our game.
Coach, Christine Conley got about 11 minutes in this one, started the second half. What was the thought process behind getting her more minutes?
I just didn't like the body language of a lot of the players at the end of the first half and in the locker room. Christine is a walk-on who has every day fought to get any time on the court at all, let alone any game. Just practice time to be able to get in there. And I know she has fight in her against USC at their place. We were forced to use her a little bit, and she was composed and played some solid minutes there. So anytime that I can get her minutes, I'm not nervous at all about her coming in and making minutes. But we definitely have a team that needs to be developed, and so as the season's gone on, we continue to give people opportunities. But based on the team's body language and kind of maybe that shaky confidence, just the way they looked, I knew I needed a fighter in there, and somebody who wasn't afraid and who could be and should be a little bit nervous in the situation. She just is happy for any second that she can get on the court and play, and will fight for it. And so we made the decision to get her out there and be alongside Bree. She's another good ball handler. That was one of the hard things with Jamie having turnover problems and Bree having foul troubles, is we're not deep in people who can handle the ball against the press especially, and so we had to manage that really well. And KB's probably one of our next best ball handlers, and so really proud of her and the minutes she's got and how she performed.
Did she perform exactly how you wanted her to?
Yeah. Defensively and offensively, she wasn't a liability. She helped us on both ends of the court, and proud of that for her.
Anything else for these two? Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, guys.